Hello, Virgo. Welcome to your first part of May read. For the main read, I'm using the Bone Fire Tarot by Gabby Angus West. I'm assuming I have that in view. For the supportive cards, I'm using The Secret Language of Color cards by Ines Segal. Per normal, I have already shuffled these. 3? Okay. That's it. All right, so this one card likes to come out a lot lately. Cyan, C-Y-A-N, Cyan. I don't know. This very much, for some reason, this really feels like the rock turquoise. It reminds me of that rock turquoise. And every time I see this card, it makes me think about one of those things where you find value in a situation that others may not. So for this situation, I feel like this is how you're going into this time frame. There's a situation going on here where you feel like there's a lot of value to be had, a lot of good things there, but not everybody might agree with you, which is fine. I feel like this walk-in here is kind of defining the situation. It's kind of pushing it this way forward. Even though you have an overall energy, I feel like the situation itself as you walk in is like coloring the whole, like even though there's a main energy, I feel like this is like what your perception is based off this walking in situation. Now, again, this is something I feel like you feel there's a lot of value in, but other people may not agree with you. And I feel like there's a person very close to you, especially in this reading. Like I've said this in a lot of readings. When you see the Lover's card, the Two of Cups, things like that, it doesn't have to mean a romantic relationship. It can also mean a very important, very meaningful, like a very close relationship, or somebody like, they can even like denote sometimes like a grandparent that you're very close to and feel very, very strongly about. Nothing sexual about it, just that there's a very strong heart connection. That being said, I'm kind of getting that feel here. Like there's somebody that you're connected with that you can't seem to make them change direction, or you can't seem to have an influence, but you feel like they're a very good person, or you care about them a lot. They're very important. They're very precious to you. The world may not feel the same way, but you feel that way about this person. And for that reason, you're kind of sticking with this situation, I feel. I feel like that's what we're jumping off of here. Something's going on with this person. I don't feel like there's anything really bad going on. I just feel like they're it's a little like, I feel like their values and your values are a little different. Their values might be more, how do I put this? They may be a little more earthy. Is that the word I want to use? Earthy? There's something about them, especially since this is a general read, there's something about them that I feel like the majority of people just look at them like like as if they're not up to par, or maybe they get that feeling, or they kind of feel that way. Something about this, I don't feel like that's really the truth, but I feel like there's kind of like a perception situation here where they might not be seen as well put together as you. I think that's the way those branches, geez, that's kind of weird looking. Anyway, I'm looking at the viewfinder and I can see the scene behind me. I don't know, something's catching my eye with that. I don't know why. This happened last time I did the last go around with Virgo. I had a weird energy. I actually had to redo that video because I was kind of distracted. Like there's something else pushing through, or another energy trying to push through. It's kind of strange. I'm not sure why that's happening again. It seems like it's Virgo again. This is happening where I feel like there's an outside influence pushing in. And I feel kind of like I'm being spied on a little bit. It's kind of weird. There's nobody out here. I live out in the country. Not that it matters, but there's nobody out there. But I feel like all of a sudden I'm feeling like somebody's watching me, and it's a really creepy, awkward feeling. Unless for some reason when I start working with the energy of Virgo, it brings something near me that I'm not aware of. Hopefully it fits into this reading and it's not just me having a paranoid moment. As we go forward from this stepping point, you're spending time I feel like you're spending time with this person, and you're there's a lot going on. I feel like there's a little like I want to say the word unkempt, uncontrollable, unorganized energy going on here. I feel like they're just kind of like going on autopilot, and there's things that they're just the way that they're going about life, it's just kind of strange. I feel like they're not really thinking about what they're doing. They're just kind of doing and one to the next. I don't know if I want to say careless or just like kind of giddy energy, kind of just not thinking about what they're saying, just kind of not editing. I don't. There's awkwardness here. I feel like this is somebody who definitely means a lot to you, but they're just whatever's going on. You're questioning like what is going on here. Like I feel like you're trying to understand, or you're trying to help in some respect. I don't understand what's going on here. And of course, lately, every time I read, I get yawning. Every time lately. No matter what time of day it is, if I just woke up or at the end of the day or it's the middle of the day, I apologize for that. I don't know why that's happening. Even when I'm doing personal readings, it's happening all the time lately. I'm getting with this, like, there's some things they're going through. There's some things they're changing, and they're just kind of like, you're thinking these things are not thought out. These are very whimsical, but they seem to be taking steps to make things happen. And I feel like you're just kind of looking at this person like, what are you doing? Like you're not even planning this stuff out. Like you're just kind of, it's almost like somebody picking up and packing up all their belongings and just moving to another state or another country, or just getting on a boat and going. Like literally, like it's kind of like somebody getting on a boat and going. You're like, why a boat? And why now? And where are you going? Like you don't even know where you're going. What are you doing? Like, I feel like that's how you're looking at this person. Like, where are you going? I'm getting a boat reference. Where's the boat? I don't know if that's coming from that blue card, or there's a boat reference here. Like, in my mind, there's a boat reference. So, I feel like somebody's going on a trip or something. What's going on with this? Granted, these are general reads, but there's something, like, this person's awkward and just kind of making... I feel like they may be like having a pie in the sky, googly eye effect, or like they're affected by something. They're having like, you're feeling like they're having wishful fantasies about something, and they're going forward with something that they're not thinking through. Okay, that's where we're going with this. Okay, so that's where this is starting off, and I feel like you're all right. You're feeling like you're worried that what they're doing here, and you're kind of like, what's going on? What are you doing? What is happening? That's coming through even stronger now. You're worried about this other person that means a lot to you, because they're seeming to make a quick decision here, and you're thinking this is just not all it's cracked up to be. Like you're not thinking this through. You're like trying to get through to them. You're trying to talk with them. Like you're not thinking this through. This is just too quick. This is not. There's nothing stable to stand on with this. This is not a good idea. I don't think you should do this. Oh, I'm going to do it, and it'll be fine. Don't be a negative Nancy, blah, blah, blah. And they're just kind of, or negative Norman, whatever it happens to be. And remember, don't get caught up in the gender of these cards. Even though it's the Queen of Swords, does not mean that's a female or male. Well, you know what I mean. It's not denoting gender, especially in a general read. Alright, so I feel like you're trying, like this is the overall energy, but this is the reason you're in it. That's because this person means so much to you, and you see a lot of value in them. And I feel like a lot of other people kind of might walk away from this person periodically from time to time, because it's kind of a chaotic, I'll do what I want energy sometimes. That's kind of what's happening now. But you're dedicated, and this person means a lot to you. You're just like, I can't just walk away. I have to try to talk you out of this, or at least if you're going to insist on doing this, see if I can help you set something up so that you have something to fall back on, or at least one leg to stand on, like some type of plan to get you through this. Because I'm worried about what you're doing and where you're going. So you're trying to be very patient. You're trying to manage what's going on here. There's so much going on. You're trying to balance it all. You're trying to keep it together. You're kind of worried about what's going to happen. You're really worried about this person, like if they're going to get hurt or they're emotionally, physically, like it bothers you that this is even happening. You don't think this is stable, and you really wish they wouldn't do it, but they're doing it. Now, as it moves forward, I feel like you're having some type of effect. You're trying to get them to plan ahead or have some type of backup or like call me when you get there, at least let me know what's happening, blah, 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 things like that, blah, blah, blah. I feel like this is a blah, blah, blah energy in the sense of like they're listening, but they're kind of like hearing blah, blah, blah. And as you talk to them, they're hearing some of it, but a lot of it's blah, blah, blah. Like it's not hitting, it's not sticking. I hope that makes sense. We have like a weird little, I feel like it goes in a rhythm. Like, they just keep, they're on this, like, rhythm, like, they keep going. And it's a fast rhythm, but it's just kind of like, they listen partially, but they're more interested in making things happen. They're more moving forward the way they want. They have this, I feel like it's a little bit whimsical, a little bit dreamy, but they're moving forward. I feel like you're doing what you can to make sure that they're going to be okay and they stay in contact with you. I don't know exactly what they're doing. I don't feel like a lot of them, I don't know. Some of them are moving away, or not moving away, going on this boat. There's a boat reference again, like a boat reference. I just feel like this is not well planned, though. And I feel like you're talking with them enough and they're sharing hidden aspects, like what's going on. For some of you, there's more to this story than meets the eye, and you're finding that out. It may look like it's very whimsical, but you're starting to find out, well, there's been more going on, and you're like, like there's certain things you're finding out, you're like, I don't really like what I'm finding out, but it actually gives more stability to the situation. Don't really know if I like it anymore, but at least it seems a little more solid, even though I'm really not liking it any more than I did before. I'm just not liking it in a different way. I feel like that's how it's coming across. Like this, it's weird. I feel like you're finding there's more to this situation than you first thought or were told, and you're finding out things and you're just like, okay, and there's qualities to this situation where it shows more stability. Like you're not so physically worried about them, but you're just kind of like, what are these decisions you're making? Like, what are you doing? Like, I feel like you're worried about them. Like what is happening with you? It's just out of caring. Like, you're not. I don't feel like you're trying to judge. You're just kind of like, what is happening? Like, what are you doing? Why are you making these decisions? I feel like you're worried in that sense. And even though you find out there's more stability to the situation, you're still not liking it. I feel like you still don't like it. Which is interesting because I got the Queen of Coins and I got the Ten of Coins. Queen of Coins very much makes me feel like you're looking at it with an open heart. You're just trying to be supportive where you can, but you're also trying to be a rational, like, all right, I know you feel this way and I can understand that, but let's plan a little better because you got to make sure you're taken care of. Yeah. And I feel like this card, the Ten of Coins, yes, that's just you making sure, like, things, like, you're trying to make sure things are going to work out. I feel like for some of you, if this person's moving in some sense, you're, like, picking up the slack because you just really, it'll make you feel better to make sure, because you can keep a better eye on this situation, and you really do care, and that's another reason why you're kind of doing that. You're like, I don't mind picking up some of the slack here to make sure this works out. It'll just make me feel better to know that at least part of this is working out. And I'll also be able to keep in contact a little better and find out what's going on a little better. There's like a coin in my pocket or something here. I don't know what that's about. It's like stuck between the lining. I don't know why that's happening. Getting weird references. Is that kind of going in with this? No. Okay, it's just me being weird. Alright, I'm getting like a little interesting thing here. Now, as it goes forward, I do feel like you're helping this person. not everybody's moving away, but whatever's going on, you're getting involved and you're helping pick up the slack. But I feel like a lot of it's so you can keep your eye on what's going on, and you can help. There's definitely a heart connection here. You care about this person a lot, and you just can't walk away. But you also can't you can't pass up an opportunity to get you into the situation a little more, because you really care, and you're really worried about bad decisions here, and you're just like, I just don't want to look back and be like, I could have helped this go in a little better direction. You definitely have a heartfelt feeling to this, and you're keeping up, you're helping, and it's like, I feel like the stress of this situation is just like, you're really worried about the decisions this person's making, and you're starting to question, like, why are you making these decisions? Like, what is happening? Like, what is triggering this? Because I feel like this isn't right. And you're trying to figure out, like, what is the reason? Is there something? Are you taking a drug now? Have you had some type of aneurysm? Why are you making these decisions? I don't understand why this is happening. And it's stressing you a little bit. And I feel like the farther you go, the more you learn about what is actually happening. Because I feel like there's more going on behind the scenes. But it's kind of like an open book in the sense of like an open book. An unwritten book, in the sense of like they have to tell it to you, and it's very subjective to the situation. Especially with this general read, there's going to be details that I'm not going to be able to knock down. It's kind of like this side is like they need to tell you, and that's part of the important thing. They need to tell you what's going on there. As you move forward, I feel like you're keeping you're keeping it together for them. You got Emerald and you got Tangerine. As you're connected with the situation, I don't feel like whatever you're doing to help them make it through this, that's not really stressful. It's just you're watching this from the outside, and it's really bothering you. You're just like, these are just not good decisions. And I don't feel like you're judging. I just feel like you're worried, and you're thinking this to yourself because you're worried. You're like, it's like one bad decision after the next bad decision, and just like it's bad decision in the sense of like, what's going to happen to you? I'm worried about you. I don't want bad things to happen to you. I care about you. That type of feeling. And you're trying to get more stuff. You're trying to get your influence in there more. You're trying to get more stability there. As you do this, you're learning more about the situation. I feel like with these, I feel like you're taking care of them. You're kind of taking care of them where you can. You're trying to take care of them where you can. And it's helping you. It's making you feel better to be involved like that, but it's also kind of drawing you down, and it might be drawing you down a little bit. It might give you a little bit of a depression feel, because it feels like you're constantly running after them, trying to make sure they're okay. Meanwhile, they're loving life, and they're going forward with this full force. And I feel like they're really oblivious to how this is affecting you. Even though you might flat out tell them, you're stressing me out, you have me really worried about you. Their reaction, I feel, is kind of like, oh, just calm down, it's fine, you're just a nervous snorting Nelly, worry wart, blah, blah, blah. And then the blah, blah, blah comes in. I feel like they're caught up in the situation, they're not thinking about it, even though you're flat out telling them, and I feel like you're trying to make a point, it's just kind of not happening. I feel like you're keeping an eye on this good enough that it's not falling apart. I really feel like you're helping this person keep their stuff together. I'm going to say another word. Like some of this, at least the way you're looking at it, it would definitely fall apart if you weren't a part of it, helping them. They may pick up their own pieces. They may be, if you did drop connection to it, I do feel like for the most part, most of them would do what they needed to do. Not that it would be any easier, but they would. I feel like there's a lot to be uncovered here. There's a lot more. And they're just very much into this whole situation. It makes me wonder, especially since this is the Lover's card here, if it's a relationship that you're like questioning, like what are they doing? Why are they with this person? You're very heartfelt into this though. This is a double meaning card for some of you watching, in the sense of like it's showing how much you feel for this person, but also like that they're going through a situation where they're with somebody else, and you're just kind of watching it, and you're watching your friend or loved one, however that may hit, and you're just kind of like, why are you with this person? Like, This is not a good idea. I don't think this is good. And you're staying involved or trying to stay involved and trying to be as diplomatic as possible so you can watch and help and advise, and you're just kind of like, you're waiting for that moment where you can be like, come on, no, don't do this, don't hang out, don't do this. This is not good. You guys don't really match up that way, or you're seeing something with this person that makes you really nervous, and you're like, no, I don't think that's good. But again, even if it's going that route for this situation for you, there's more going on here. It might have been going on a lot longer than you realize, and it's very there's a connection. There's a deep bond there going on between the person you care about and the person they're with, and it's just kind of gonna ride out. Okay. I feel like I went through this kind of fast, but I'm noticing it's been about 20 minutes here. So I don't end up going through it again, I'm going to just kind of end it here. By the way, thank you very much to everybody who comments. I do read the comments. I don't usually get a chance to comment back because I usually read them on my phone, and it's very hard to get back. You know, it loads very slow. I guess that's the easiest way to put it. I just can't seem to get through them all. So thank you very much for everybody who comments. I do read them. And if you want a direct reading from me, go ahead, shoot me an email, james4astral@gmail.com, james4astral@gmail.com. Thank you for watching.